Welcome to my world where all is well. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that create the things. I'm a former officer who has been diagnosed with PTSD, social anxiety, and depression. Making these videos is very therapeutic for me, and I hope that it is a blessing to you. I want to start off by saying happy birthday to my favorite sister D. Today is her birthday. I pray that she has prosperity in every area of her life and that she enjoys her carrot cake today. I don't have the cake, but I have the carrots. I pray she just have a wonderful day today. She's my favorite sister. Today is Tuesday, January the 17th, 2023. It is currently 12:03 hours. Today I want to talk about something my mom preached about. She preached about don't let what you see contradict what God said. And that was a summary from my mom. Don't let what you see contradict what God said. Hold on for 1 second. Let me get something here. Okay. Don't let you see contradict what God said. And don't let what you hear distract you from what God said. God told you something, but you hear something else from a so-called prophet or false prophet or psychic or whatever you want to call it. Whose word are you going to give the most value to? Whose word are you going to give the most power to? If God said something and they say something contradictory to it, then you know not to believe them. Just don't even worry about hearing or listening to. Don't even give them the opportunity to speak anything into you. Just concentrate on what God said. And also let you hear become an opportunity. Even if you hear something bad from someone, let it be an opportunity for you to speak what God said to you, to them. If somebody comes to you and say, hey, if you don't come out of lesbianism, God's going to kill you. I'm going to use that as an opportunity to say, God said he shall give me long life that I am satisfied with. So when somebody come to you with something contradictory, say, look, this is what God said. I am the righteousness of God. I own God righteousness. So whatever they say, use it as an opportunity to speak what God has said to you, to them. Don't be afraid of what God has told you. Now you can do it in a nice way. They might not be nice, but just because they're not nice, don't let what they are not allow you to become something that you don't like. Continue to be what God said you are. You can be blessed and at the same time be confused. I am wonderfully blessed. I'm wonderfully and uniquely made by God. I am wonderfully blessed. But even though I know I am wonderfully blessed, I can be confused about, okay, why do I have these diagnoses? It can cause confusion if I dwell on my diagnosis. But I'm not here to dwell on my diagnosis. I know that I will have complete wholeness and well-being because that's what God said. It is God's desire for me to be happy, healthy, and whole. So there's no reason for me to be confused by my diagnosis. That's just a diagnosis that's here on earth. And I'm not concerned about that because I'm so much more than who I am physically here on earth. What I see on the outside reflects what is on the inside of me. What I see on the outside of me reflects what I see on the inside. You know, me and another person or 3 or 4 to come watch the same movie and come out with a totally different review of that movie. Because who we are on the inside will determine what we see on the outside. Even when it comes to text messages. I can send a text message, let's say it's a group text message to 3 or 4 different people. I get 3 or 4 different responses based on what they saw in that text message. They couldn't hear my voice physically, but what they saw. True example, last week, I text 3 different people. It was a group text. I text all 3 of them in one text, sent the same text to 3 different people. I got 3 different responses. 2 of those people were upset. They didn't understand what I said and why I would say it. One person, because they know me, totally got it and understood what it said. It's because of who they are on the inside allowed them to interpret it what was sent to them. And I myself, I might get strange DMs and text messages and things like that. I might, in my mind, know what they're trying to do or say or what they're trying to have happen. But because of who I am on the inside, God bless you. That's all I got to say. God bless you. Anytime I wish you the best. you know. So, who you are on the inside also reflects what you see or hear on the outside. I used to live in clutter before I got into therapy. I have therapy every Monday. I chose Monday because I found out that Monday was the most day of the week that more people were depressed and most people choose to unalive themselves. So I figured, well, if I'm going to have this diagnosis, then I want my therapy session to all be on Monday, since y'all say that's the most depressed. More people are depressed on Mondays than any other. More people have heart attacks on Mondays too. I found that out when I was researching this so-called depression diagnosis. So I said, well, all of my therapy appointments need to be on Monday just to make sure, I'm in my right mind. I try to be as close to my right mind as possible. But now, how did I get off on that? But I used to live in a lot of clutter, because my mind was cluttered. And I'm still in the process. But once I got in therapy and started working with my therapist, and my therapist gave me homework assignments to do, now I have spice racks where I put my spices in the kitchen. I have these beautiful creative basket designs that I put on my bookshelf in my living room and in my dining room. I have candle warmers in my room. I have Lysol and hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes in all the main rooms, in the living room and dining room, in the public areas, and in the bathrooms. I started, and even in my closet, I used to have towels and sheets and stuff just thrown everywhere. Now I have a shelf just for my towels and my face cloths, and I'm starting to declutter my surroundings, and because my mind had to be decluttered. My therapist has helped me with that. I love my therapist, by the way. I don't know if I told you, I have a wonderful therapist, great therapist. Don't let what you see contradict what God said. I remember when my third king was born. He was born a twin. The twin didn't make it. And I remember being at this particular hospital when he was born. And me and my wife, God rest her soul, she's no longer physically active. Pancreatic cancer was the cause of her physical existence, cause of the demise of her physical existence. But he was born at this hospital, and we were told not to expect much out of him. Now, they was looking at his twin sister who had died 6 hours after birth, and they was looking at him. They were both born premature. They had to take Austin because they told us before our birth mother gave birth that they didn't think that Winter Rosemary would make it, and that she was starting to steal nutrients from Austin. So they said, if we don't induce labor on the birth mother now, and it's a trip when you're in the adoption process, you literally make all the major decisions. But me and my wife, we did not make any major decision without consulting the birth mother, asking her what does she feel comfortable doing. So she agreed. She said, yes, let's go ahead and do a C-section, and so we can at least save one instead of losing both. So we was able to save Austin, and then we was told because when he was born, he wasn't responding to anything they did. The only thing he was doing on his own was breathing. So they had to put tubes all in his nose and stuff to try to feed him. And he was in the NICU unit, and we was told not to expect much out of him. And then when we brought him home, he was in babies can't wait for a while. So he started to, like at the marks, they have like at 3 months supposed to do this, and this. So he developed slowly, but how I see it is my third, he was taking his time so he could get it right. That's how I see it, because now my third king is 7 years old and is doing superior in school. I just got his spelling test yesterday, got all the words right. His grades are doing very well. Now he has gotten kicked out of kindergarten before because he's a leader. He's a natural born leader, but they didn't appreciate his leadership skills while he was in preschool. True story. They invited me to come and see, because I just could not believe the stuff they was telling me. I said, I'm not seeing none of this stuff at home. My third king is not doing it. They said, well, come here and watch your king on video. So I went there and watched the king on video. My third king at the time was literally the smallest child in that room. I was looking at he was literally the smallest child in that room. But everything he told them to do, they did. Now, this is why he got kicked out of this particular child care center. So he figured out how to get out the door. So he opens the door and said, "Come on, guys." I see him on the video, say, "Come on, guys." And all of them follow him out the door. And it's like, we just can't have that. He is going to get us in trouble for all the kids missing, because he done found a way of escape. So I looked at that. I was like, wow, he's a natural born leader. So I brought him home. I said, you're a natural born leader, but leaders have to sometimes follow. I said, I think you need to follow leaders for a while, and develop your leadership skills by watching other leaders, how they lead, until it's your turn to become a leader. So that's what my third king is doing now. He's in first grade now, doing very well academically. That's my third king story. Don't let what you see contradict what God said. I'm sorry I have to keep repeating the title so I can stay on focus, what I wrote down in my journal. My mom preached a good sermon. Y'all should go to Star Ministries, by the way, in Columbus, Georgia. It's at 2216 Hamilton Road, where the wonderful pastor is my precious mother. She is so sweet and lovely, my precious dear mother. I promise you will never find a sweeter lady on earth anywhere. Her name is Pastor Dorothy R. Smith. I call her mom. Out of her firstborn, so I'm the most precious thing that has ever happened to her, and she's the most precious thing that's ever happened to me, besides my three kings. Don't let me, I have three kings, right? All three of them different, and I've told them, don't tell them this stuff. But separately, I've told each one of them that they my favorite king. So each one of them think that they my favorite. Isn't that wonderful? You should do that. Try it with your kid. I call my first kid and say, "You my favorite. I miss you so much. Your second and third kid, I don't know what's going on with them. You my favorite." Then my second kid comes, "I like you, the most handsomest person I've ever seen in my life. You're my favorite one." And my third kid, I tell him that. He said, "I know, Mom." That's my third kid. He said, I know. He know that he's my favorite. So yeah. Yes, Star Ministries, Columbus, Georgia, 2216 Hamilton Road, with a wonderful pastor. It's my precious mother, Pastor Dorothy R. Smith. And if you'd like to send a donation, because they are in the process of renovations, their cash app is $ Star Ministries GA, the number 2. That is $ Sierra Tango Apple Romeo Mike India November India Sierra Tango Romeo India Echo Sierra Golf Apple 2. StarMinistries and the number 2, $ Star Ministries 2. If you need any help, any assistance, you can give me, you can't give me a call, but my email address is attached to my my YouTube page. Okay. You can be frustrated in your faith, or you can be faithful in your faith. I choose to be faithful in my faith that God is going to do what he said. I'm faithful, and I'm not going to let what I see contradict what God said. I'm not going to sit here in frustration with my diagnosis. I'm going to sit here with faith, believing, even though them doctors say. Now, my next appointment with my regular doctor is March the 8th. I have an appointment with my psychiatrist. I can't remember. It's in February or something. I have one. I have a psychiatrist I see every month. My therapist I see every week. Psychiatrist I see every month. And my regular doctor, my primary care doctor, I see every 3 months for my blood work, because all the medications I take, they have to take my blood work. And then I am in continuing care at the mental institution I was once admitted to. I have continuing care once a week there. How did I get on? Did I take? Yeah, I may not need to take some more medication. Okay, let me take some medication. Get you a prescription. Okay. But even though they all say, yeah, that's where I was going with this. I have all these doctors and a neurologist because they believe I'll be having many seizures when I have my panic attacks, because they're so severe that they believe I'll be having many. So I have the neurologist helping me with that too, and they maybe I get my driving privileges back too. That'd be nice. I ask them every time I go to the doctor if I can drive again, but they just look at me like it ain't happening. But like my God said, I can drive, so it's gonna happen. Yeah, so y'all pray with me. So I can be frustrated by my doubt, or I can have faith, which I choose to have, in knowing that, hey, as long as I do what they say that I'm supposed to do, I'm compliant. I take my medicine every day, even though sometimes I don't like the way it makes me feel, and I do go to my doctor's appointments when I'm supposed to. I'm doing everything they say. So instead of being frustrated, I'm gonna be faithful. As long as I'm faithful with what I'm supposed to do on my part, I trust that God is going to do what He's going to do on His part. And I don't identify with any negative thoughts. I'm not going to give any negative thoughts that come to my head any power. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to exchange those negative thoughts with a good thought. A negative thought, I'm like, hey, you're going to have night terrors forever. You're going to be waking up panicking forever. No, I'm not. Just I say, no, I'm not. And guess what? I don't even have to say no. I say no, I am not, to make it clear that no, I am not. But I can say no is a complete sentence. N-O is the subject and the predicate. Put a period behind the O. No. I just kept saying, no, this is not happening. I am not going to have a panic attack. I'm going to be fine. Sometimes it can make you scared to go to sleep and all that other side effects and stuff. And then you have to take extra medicine and things like that. But no, I'm just not going to give my negative thoughts any power. They don't deserve any power. For why? Why do I want to... What good would it do for me to dwell on anything negative? What good would it do? If you know the answer, let me know. But it's just like when you eat bad food. If you eat bad food, you have diarrhea. You have diarrhea, you just be running, your butthole be sore and all of that stuff when you eat bad food. It's the same way with bad thoughts. If you have bad thoughts, then you have diarrhea of the mind. It'll just continue to be bad, and then it'll affect everything else. Then your mind will be sore and everything else, because it's like diarrhea of the mind when you have bad thoughts. So don't do that, because it'll keep going. Don't eat bad food and don't have bad thoughts. I eat good food. Today I had 2 oranges and a banana. And it's lunchtime, so I'm gonna have a salad. So I'm sticking with my my new lifestyle thingy. I don't like to call it diet and train. My new lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. My healthy way of eating. I'm sticking to that. And you know what? Don't let what you see contradict what God said. Sometimes it's better to be wise than to be right. I got this from, what was I watching? I can't remember if it was Another Day Fiance or The Circle or One. But I was watching a show on TV, and these two people was arguing. And one of the individuals was right in everything that they were saying. But I was literally talking to the TV. I don't know if I'm the only person that do that. You know, like I have a mental diagnosis, so you might say I have mental issues, crazy, whatever you want to call you. But God bless you. I'm confident in who I am. But either way, I was talking to them. I was like, why? You are right. Why are you arguing with this fool? You're right. I'm like, if it was me in that situation, I'd be like, okay, go. Yeah, the sky's purple. Yep, you right. Yep, that's right. The street is green. Okay, no problem. You right. Go ahead. I would not waste my time arguing with a fool. I would rather be wise and spend my time productively on someone else. Now, if I'm right and someone is wrong, and we are not an argument, but we're in a conversation where I can see that I am getting through to this person. And my only purpose is not to get through to this person. My purpose is also to understand why this person believed something in error in the first place. So if we are engaging in a fruitful conversation, fruitful means we both going to benefit out of this conversation, then I will continue to entertain this conversation and be in this conversation. But I'm not going to sit around like what I was watching on TV the other day, which I honestly, I wish I could remember so I could tell you just to see if you saw it. But there's 2 people on TV, and I'm literally talking to the team like, why even you're right. Everybody who's watching this know you are right. Why are you wasting your I would not be good for reality TV. I would not be good for, because I would not be participating in those shenanigans. I just be like, okay, you're right. God bless you. However you want to believe. If I know no matter what I say, they're going to have an argument against it. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can believe that. You're right. God bless you. And I'll be moving on to something else. So sometimes it's better to be wise than to be right. My purpose is peace. I want to be at peace. And if it's causing me my peace, I don't want nothing to do with it. Don't let what you see contradict what God said. Every morning, after I do my prayer, meditation, and everything that I need to do to feed my body spiritually and to take my medication, do what I need to do mentally, I look at my bank account. Now, when I'm looking at my bank account, what came to my mind is don't let what I see contradict what God said. My bank account is in error. It is. It is an error. That's not possible. That's not possible. Something is wrong. And it's not me, and it's not my God, because my bishop told me, God rest her soul, that I forgot. God is my supply. I am never without money. If God is my supply, God is my natural, how did she say? God is my supply, and God's going to make sure that I have everything I need. That is a true fact statement. So my bank, no matter what is in that bank account, if it's not in line with the truth, what God said, God ain't wrong. That bank account is wrong. Something has gone tremendously wrong. So now me physically, it's up to me to do something that I need to do to get that on the right path, to in line to what God has said to me. My mental diagnosis is not in line with what God has said to me. I'm not going to let what I see contradict what God has said to me. God has said to me that I will have perfect health. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. My brain cells are happy, healthy, whole, and well. Everything in my body is happy, healthy, whole, and well. So once these mental diagnoses realize that they're going out the way and do what they got to do, because they're going to get tired of fighting me. Because they're going to know that I'm going to stand on what God said instead of this diagnosis no matter what. I went to the gym the other day. Decided to run on a treadmill. My knees got swollen. Now it's this song, I don't know who sing it, Beyonce, but it's this good song. This song got called Good Knees. I think it's a dance to it. Too, because my second king like to do it, Good Knees. So on my way home, because I have to walk to the gym and walk home because somebody won't give me my driving privileges. We ain't gonna say no name, but that these people know who they are not in line with what God said, by the way. So we're gonna pray for them and we're gonna get our driving privileges back. But so on my way home, I was like, okay, so my knees are not lining up with God said. So every step I made, I said, I got blessed knees. I got blessed knees. Blessed knees. Because I think the son goes say good knees or something. I listen to mostly gospel. But when second king is here, we listen to whatever he in the mood to listen to. And third king too. Both of them just, they literally take over. So I only have the time to make these videos and schedule them to come on to the YouTube, because I have to go by the YouTube algorithm in order for them to see that I'm consistent enough to allow advertisers to want to advertise on my channel. I have to prove to them that I can be consistent. So I make the videos early so I can schedule them later, because when they get, it's all about them. My third king gets home about 2:15. My second king gets home off of work around 7 o'clock. But they literally take over the TV, the radio. But now I just let them have their kids. Well, second king is not a child. He's a grown man. But I still just allow them to be children. And, you know, after the homework and everything is done. But while I have my time, I like to listen to and read and watch whatever I want to watch. So every step I made, I said, blessed knees. Blessed knees, blessed knees. And guess what? Woke up this morning, my knees not swollen anymore. I was able to walk on a treadmill. I think I'm gonna stick to walking, because my plan is to live to 100. And I have not seen a 100-year-old running on a treadmill, but maybe they were walking on a treadmill. If you know a 100-year-old person who's still running, let me know. That might inspire me or encourage me to continue running. But I said, you know, I'm gonna keep walking, because I want to keep my blessed knees as long as possible. Okay? And I desire to follow in my Father's footsteps. Has Jesus ever ran anywhere? I was thinking about that. I was like, why am I running on this treadmill? Has Jesus ever ran? You know, when you watch those scary movies, the people who be trying to get away just be running and falling and tripping and busting their knees up and everything else up. But the man, Jason, yeah, that's his name, the killer, be falling, he just be walking. You just I'm like, why y'all running if he walking and he's still catching you? So you running and wasting all of this energy for no reason. You running and you end up tripping off something. So I'm like, okay, if the enemy ain't running, and if my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ ain't running nowhere, then why am I running on the treadmill? Make it make sense. So I figured I'm gonna walk and just walk. I'll probably have to walk longer because it's all about the heart rate and stuff like that. So walk at a fast pace. I'm sure I can't be on there just going for a stroll. I'm gonna have to walk at a faster pace, but I want something low impact for my blessed knees. Okay, that's how I'm gonna walk in my Father's footsteps. Cause that's what my mind be thinking. I don't know what y'all mind me thinking, but if you know that Jesus has ever ran anywhere besides when he was a child, but they didn't canonize those scriptures in the Bible, they didn't want the people that read the King James version of the Bible to see how Jesus was when he was a baby, because Jesus was a brat as a baby, and he would zap his friends for not paying the way that he wanted them to play. Then his mom who would have to say, Jesus, don't do that. Literally, I think he ended up breaking one of his friends' legs, something like that. Fell off the roof or something, but Jesus healed them. I think the story is interesting. It tells a normal child. I think they should have put him in the Bible, but they didn't want to for whatever reason. But it wouldn't affect me anyway. Don't let what you see contradict what God said. When I see a rainbow, I think about what God said. Every time I see a rainbow, like, God is not going to flood the earth by water anymore. He's not going to do that. No matter how hard it rains, you're going to see a rainbow. God put that there to remind us that he's not going to kill us with the flood anymore. As long as I see a rainbow and I don't see Noah's Ark being built nowhere, I'm good. Don't let what you see contradict what God said. I live here in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and for some reason, when I used to watch the news, I watch the news every now and then. I'm not supposed to, don't tell my therapist. But it tends to be a lot of violence around, and especially by young people, and it could be heartbreaking. But God said I should have peace in every area of my life. Watching that violence is not peaceful for me. Even though the child doesn't particularly belong to me, it still hurts me because I'm raising 3 black kings. 3 black kings. If it's something that's done to one of us, it's done to all of us. That's how I see it. I guess I'm empathetic. I don't know what the word is. You know what it is. But because when I see it, it literally hurts my heart. Literally, I feel it. Now, when I see stuff on TV like politics, stuff like that, I'm interested in that, but it don't affect me like it does when a child is taken away at no fault of the child. It's just sad. But don't let what you see contradict what God. Hey, I forgot to ask y'all something. I need 4 calls of actions I need to give. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please turn on that notification bell. Please. Thank you. I love you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. That will help me be able to help you in the long run. Trust me. Read my introduction. I plan on allowing this channel to help me start a nonprofit so I can help first responders. I used to be a first responder, so my heart, I want to help other first responders who have PTSD. I really do. Okay, but don't let what you see contradict what God said. I remember when God told Abraham and Sarah he gonna give them a child. Sarah laughed because she was old. Oh, now I don't know if she was laughing because she was like, "Hey, Abraham can't even get it up no more. We don't have Viagra, Jesus. How this gonna work?" Or I don't know if she was laughing because, hey, I'm old and we stopped having sex years ago. I don't know. Do old people have sex still? I don't know. God bless you. Or I don't know if she was laughing because she's like, I don't even have the desire. I mean, it's Abraham. Come here, Abraham. How would you make that sexy in the bedroom, Abraham? I don't. Hey, Sarah. I guess you can make Sarah sexy. But what did she call her? Abraham or April? What was her nickname for Abraham? I don't know. But Abraham said, so she laughed. Don't let what you see contradict what God said. God said, hey, I'm going to bless you with a child. I don't care what your age is. And he ended up blessing them with a child. So they end up having a child. So don't let what you see contradict what God said. And whatever God speaks to you, faith should be our automatic response. God can tell you, hey, you're going to have a child like that. You shouldn't laugh. Or I can't imagine any instance I would want to laugh at God. Now, I believe God has a sense of humor. I really do. Because God wants me to have a sense of humor. And I believe comedians are anointed to make people laugh. So I do believe that God has a sense of humor. Being a comedian is not my calling. God did not anoint me to be a comedian. But I do enjoy comedy shows and live instrumentation. Those two of my favorite things on earth. As far as entertainment goes, but I have to watch them at home now because there's too many people be at these things. When I'm surrounded by too many people, I get anxious for some reason. But when God spoke to them, faith should have been her automatic response, in my opinion. Sarah may have felt comfortable with laughing, but in my opinion, faith should have been her automatic response. She was like, you know what? I believe God. She should have started singing that song by I Believe God by Vincent Bohannon. Now, she probably didn't know that song by then, but that's a good song to sing and put on heavy rotation. I Believe God by Vincent Bohannon. Okay? If you don't got it, get it. If you get it, good. Get it, listen to it. But I believe God. I believe God. So, that's what Sarah should have been singing. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. Thank you so much. And also, in order to not let what you see contradict what God said to you, you have to adopt God's language. You have to speak it. Whenever you hear or see something or anything that contradicts what God said, adopt God's language. Just speak God's words. I am the righteousness of God. I am healed. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I have no wants. It's impossible for me to want for something that I don't have. Just start speaking God's words back to him. God, you said in your word. My mom preached the subject about that as well. Just adopt God's language and start speaking it back. That's a very good way to not to let what you see contradict what God has said. And don't allow anything around you to change what God has said. Now, some parts of Georgia just recently were unfortunate to be they went through a tornado that came through here, and unfortunately some trees happened to fall on people's homes. I think they had one death, a lot of injured people. From the last time I watched the news, I haven't watched any updates, but even all that destruction that's going around them, I'm sure they're probably having a hard time with their faith, saying, well, God, you said you would be there for me. How could you let this happen? And things like that. But now it's easy for me to sit here where I am at, where a tornado has not affected me, and say these words. So I just offer prayer and God's blessings to any and everybody who has been affected by this tornado that has hit Georgia and Alabama. I pray, God, that you bless them with comfort and strength and peace, and to believe what you have said, and know that you are not only going to bless them with everything they lost, but you're going to give them a Job blessing. You're going to bless them with more than enough than what they had ever had. I believe it, and I pray that they receive it in Jesus' name. Amen. So they're going to be fine. All the way, all is good. Be careful of those people that come to you and say, hey, God told me to tell you something. You know what I automatically think about when people tell me that? I think I've had one or two people come to me and tell me God told me to tell you something in my life. But what I automatically think about, for some reason, is my parents. God told me to tell you something. I look at them. I don't think I've responded either times. Either one of these people told me that God told me to. I think I just looked at them. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, if God is everywhere evenly present, God has no respect of person. God can talk to me just as well as he can talk to you. Why would God try to get to me through you? unless I'm not open and receptive enough to hear what God has to say to me. And I know I am open because I make myself available to God and God alone every morning after I take my third king off to school or to the bus stop. So I'm like, okay, me and God communicating every day. This person's coming to me telling me that God told me to tell you something. Now, I listen to see if God just sent someone to confirm, just in case I might have any doubts inside of me. So I'm listening to him to see, okay, maybe they're going to confirm what God has already told me. But in both cases, that wasn't the case. So I just said, thank you, God bless you, and I moved on ahead. But why I think about my parents, because I think about one parent, like I have 3 kings. My mom, she had 4 children. I'm the oldest. Now, all 4 of us lived in the house with our parents. So anytime my mom wanted to say something to us, she'll call us by name. Now, most of the time, my parents would get our names wrong. My mom would mean to call D. Instead, she'll say Frida, Darius, Jeremy, D. She'll finally eventually get to D. Now, she loved us all the same, but she'll finally remember, hey, the child I want, her name is D. So she'll call D and she'll tell D what she wants. Now, the only time I can remember my mom or dad telling me to tell them something is because they wasn't in the house somewhere and I was out about to go to meet them somewhere. If D was at the playground or something, she'll say, Darius, Jeremy, Frida. She'll finally get to my name, which is Frida. Go tell your sister to come home. Now, I have to go outside, move from my present location to the location to get her and tell her to bring her butt home because mom want her at home. So, that's what I think about when somebody comes to me and tells me that God told them to tell me something. That makes me think, okay, one of us have moved. I'm not in the location God needs me to be for him to tell me something. And if God is everywhere evenly present, that is impossible. So God can tell me what he needs to tell me just by speaking to me the same way he spoke to you. So I hope that came out the way that it was in my head. But don't let what you see contradict what God said. And it only takes one word, one breath from God. God can change your whole environment, your whole world, your whole life with just one word. All God got to do is say live. The doctors can say, hey, you got 15 minutes. Get your affairs in order. You about to die. God come in the room and say, live. And the doctors look at you in amazement 2 years later and be like, wow, I can't believe you still live, still here. Yeah, God said live. I heard what you said when I was in my coma. And be careful, y'all, because most people are in a coma. From what I've read, they can still hear. They can't respond, but they can still hear. So be careful if you're surrounded. If a loved one is in the coma, be careful what you say. Be careful the energy you bring into that room. But with one word, one breath, God can say live. And no matter what them doctors say, you're going to live. And just let not your heart be troubled. I know that's hard. It's hard. We all have hearts, and most of us hearts have been troubled before. But we have to believe what God said. I believe God. Vincent Bohannon made a song called I Believe God. Let it bless you. Don't let your heart be troubled. Speak what God said. Speak it out loud so you can believe it. If you keep it inside and keep it in your heart and your mind and you need to speak it so you can hear what God said, and speak it so you know what God said, and don't let what you see contradict what God said, and never forget what God said. That's the most important thing. Don't ever, ever, ever forget what God said. Now, I might forget what I said in 2 minutes, but it's my heart's desire not to ever forget what God has said to me. Okay? I want to tell you something. That is, thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Romans 10:9. Keep that in mind. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God is. Thank you, God, in me, through me, as me, around me, through the Christ within. And so it is. Until we meet again, please, I beg of you, please like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. Thank you so much.